Hi, this is Aaron for BandLab, and in this video we're going to make a beat in the style of Lil Baby using BandLab's free online DAW. You can open this project yourself with the link in the video description, and if you find this guide useful, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be the first to know when new videos drop. Lil Baby's tracks tend to have a gloomy down-tempo feel. However, we also want to have some 30-second note hi-hat rolls in there. So I'm going to set the project tempo to 136 BPM, which is actually double time for the music we're going to make. Lil Baby tracks usually use piano instrumentation, so I'm going to start by looking for some piano chord samples to give us an authentic acoustic feel. I open the Loops panel, then click the Loops tab and select Piano in the Instrument Search filter. The search results include a selection of one-shot chords, ideal for building a chord progression. I'm going for a moody 2-chord groove, so I know I want to start with a minor chord. G minor seems like a good place to begin. Let's try auditioning some other chords with it. D sharp gives me the feel I want, so I drag them both onto the audio track. I add the G minor chord first, and you'll notice that when I add this to the project, BandLab automatically sets the project key to G minor, and from now on the software will automatically pitch shift musical loops to that key. I use the handle at the bottom right hand corner of the audio clip so that it plays for 2 bars, then I add the D sharp chord and do the same. We now have a 4-bar groove that will form the basis of our track. I'd like to add a piano melody next. Melodies thin is the kind of vibe I'm looking for, and as BandLab already knows the key and tempo we're working with, it'll automatically time stretch and pitch shift the audio to fit the project when we drag it onto the audio track. This loop has a reverb tail on it as part of the audio clip, so I truncate the loop down to 4 bars, then use the editor tab to add short fades to the start and end of the clip to prevent any unwanted clicking. I want to make these piano parts sound a bit more subdued and atmospheric, so I'm going to apply some processing from BandLab's effect panel. First, I add a tone multi-filter effect to the piano chords track, turning the frequency knob down to just under 400 Hz. This cuts out a lot of the mids and highs and profoundly affects the timbre of the piano, making it sound a lot smoother. It also helps the piano melody stand out in the mix. I want to smooth the piano melody out a little too, and for this I'm going to use the Reverb Studio Reverb effect, turning the mix up to 7.4 to make the melody sound more distant and atmospheric. Next I'm going to add some beats and bass, so I turn down both piano parts to -6 dB to give us some headroom in the mix. For the beat track, I'm selecting drum pads and the 808 kit. As we're working at halftime relative to the project tempo, I put claps on the 3rd beat of every bar, which is the equivalent of having them on the 2nd and 4th beat at 68 BPM. I place kicks on the 1st beat of the 1st bar, plus the 7th and 8th eighth notes, and also the 2nd and 3rd eighth notes of the 2nd bar. The open hats play on 8th notes but not on the claps, and I use the 32nd note quantize setting in the View Grid Size menu to add hat rolls at the end of the 1st bar. To make this sound more natural, I reduce the velocity level of the middle hats to 90. At the end of the 4-bar sequence, I add a cowbell to provide a little sonic interest. I turn this down to -3 dB. For the bass line, I select the Synth Bass 808 Saturated Bass preset. This bass line is very simple and just plays G along with the kick drum, hitting the 5th an octave down at the end of the 4-bar sequence. I turn this down to -6 dB so it doesn't clip the master. We've got the main elements of the track down now, but I want to spice things up with the addition of a processed vocal. So I return to BandLab's loop library and set the instrument filter to voice and the genre filter to hip-hop trap. Rich rap trap vox and effects 3 is what I'm looking for. I want to give this a more atmospheric feel too, so I add a reverb, studio reverb effect. I turn the mix up to maximum, the size down to minimum, and set the color to 2.9. It's pretty quiet, so I turn up the track's volume level to +3 dB. I also want a transition effect, and I think an eerie wind sound would work well, so I clear the search filters and enter wind into the text search. Rising wind is appropriate, but it's super loud, so I turn down the track's level to about -24 dB. I also feel it plays for too long, so I bring up the audio clips editor panel and increase the playback rate to 1.19. I want to have the tail of this sound linger for longer, so I add a reverb, studio reverb effect. For the arrangement, I've gone with a very simple structure. We start with the piano, and the wind effect heralds the arrival of the beat. Then the bass kicks in, and after another 8 bars, the vocal drops too. Then we have a short breakdown with just the piano and vocals before dropping the beats and bass again. The vocals are added again, and for the outro, it's just piano. Remember, you can fork this project and make your own version of it using the link in the video description. Have fun! And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. See you next time.